I firmly believe, and I make a powerful argument for ways to get involved, but I think in the book, but I think that there are just so many avenues for us to really care about this stuff. I'll give you just one other kind of big data point. If you follow Google searches, and you follow the American public's Google searches on the Syrian war, it has, this is what the curve looks like. Day one, 7,000 people dead when I started, 400,000 people dead, maybe more now. This is the line of Google searches. It's not a fully, now, we have 2,000 soldiers there, we're bombing entire areas of the country. There's a lot going on. This is not that quiet. So you think, but there were two exceptions. One was the Obama Red Line speech. So that tweaked the U.S. interest dramatically, 10 times greater than the average. And then there was one that went even higher. And you know what that one was? Do you have any ideas of what that one was?
Picture that little boy.
Yeah, it was the little boy on the beach in the little Syrian boy on the beach in the arms of and then in the arms of the Greek policeman. So we're capable of caring, obviously, and we do, and we all. I believe there's a much deeper level of commitment and engagement than we show, but we have to make this stuff accessible. It can't be, well, that's the fancy stuff that the geniuses in Washington are taking care of, because I'm here to disabuse you of that, even if I haven't confirmed it already.
So I'll probably ask a couple more questions and then flip it over to the audience.
Yeah, please.
One of the things I actually wanted to dive in a little bit deeper on your last answer around is the best way of communicating this to the general public. What do you think are the most persuasive arguments? This is about moral justice, this is about securing the world abroad and at home, this is about creating a sort of stable economic environment internationally. What is the best way to sort of, I guess, justify this activity?
Well, I think the first thing is that when you are the most advantaged country on earth, and we do have, I can just tell you, having been one of the U.S. ambassadors at the United Nations, that almost everybody in the room would wait to hear what the United States had to say. Whether it was the beginning of the intervention, at the middle, or the end, it didn't matter. People were interested in what the United States was offering and what we were thinking about and whether we were. And I can honestly say many of the times we were not updating our program. I mean, I could get talking points that might have been prepared for 2 or 3 administrations before, even though the politics are totally different. Why are we saying exactly the same thing 10 years later? And to me, that was sort of there was kind of a laziness about it. So when you're the most advantaged country like the United States, war is going to find its way to you, but the opportunities to build peace are also going to find their ways to you. Secondly, we have benefited, I believe, more than anybody in history by having a period of prolonged peace amongst our major competitors. So since World War II, this has been the greatest economic boom ever in terms of global advancement. And as the designers of the program and as the people who when we go to an international conference, we might have 15 people there to debate the fine points of it, whereas there are many countries that they're lucky to get one person to the meeting. So, I mean, there may be disadvantages to being Microsoft, and there are undoubtedly people who move faster and do other things that are more clever than you, and you wonder why you missed that opportunity. But it's not that bad being Microsoft. Okay, this would be an advantaged position, I would say, and you have opportunities to spend $1 billion here or $1 billion there and make things happen. So it has worked for us. It's going to reach us, whether it's terrorism or whether it's refugees or whether it's migrants or whether there are a lot of personal ways it's going to reach us. But it really has worked for us extremely well. That doesn't mean that it can't be improved and it can't be changed, and that's a big part of the book, obviously. But then there's also just the values side. I mean, what makes America compelling to people is our values, is our principles. It's what we do, what we aspire to be. And the fact that we even aspire to be that can differentiate us from many, many people on Earth. The fact that we actually accomplish it sometimes definitely separates us as well. So I believe we're a decent role model if we really perform the way we can. So those are three reasons, but I don't think it's not all about us. It's, in most of these places, people are making it, and the core principle of the book is help them do what they are fully capable of doing themselves. So don't flood the zone with Americans. Don't necessarily send in troops. Make sure that you're exploiting the local, the native ingenuity, the native energy, the native opportunities. And I believe we're really good at that. I mean, we're the only power, probably in the world, that actually, we're not a colonial power in the traditional sense, although we sometimes slide into it. We actually like to take the talent from anywhere in the world and bring them here. Now, that is an unusual perspective, but it's somewhat exploitive. And this is obviously, I assume, the internationalization of your enterprise here is a really good example. But these are all good practices that I believe can build and expand peace and can then make the United States a unifying force as opposed to a source of division and irritation.